right, we are en route to Charlotte to see a sneak peek of Jordan Peele's latest movie, Nope. I'm with my kids, River and Adeline. River is on the podcast this week. What are you expecting out of this movie?
Hopefully for it to be good, because I like Get Out, but I don't like Us as much. But I'm hoping that Jordan Peele brings something to this story that no one else could do.
Jordan Peele couldn't bring something to any story. You and I are thinking completely different. This is going to be a complete waste of my evening watching another terrible Jordan Peele movie. Okay, Addie, what are you expecting out of this movie?
Movie? We're going to the movies? I thought we were just going to Charlotte.
No, we are going to a sneak peek of a movie.
What's the movie called?
Nope.
Just tell me the name of the movie.
Nope.
Just tell me. Are you for real not going to tell me the name of the movie?
The name of the movie is Nope. Thank you for continuing to listen to Tales from the Video Store. Why don't you stop by our Patreon page, become a Patreon, because let me tell you, inflation right now is one big fat gold digging bitch. Now sit back, get your sunglasses, grab a box of toothpicks. It is Lee Bridges, Garrick Lane, Doug Wall, and River Lane. It's Tales from the Video Store. And again, make sure you visit our Patreon page. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was us yesterday, heading down to Charlotte. We got a sneak peek of the new Jordan Peele movie, Nope. River and Adeline and I went. We'll get to that part. How we doing?
Doing great.
Welcome to number 122, and let me tell you, we couldn't have picked a better block for some fun conversation this week, and probably for the next couple of weeks. We did the movie Creature, and we will get to that, but we have lots of news to talk about. First of all, how was everybody's week?
Fine.
Yeah?
Pretty good. Yeah.
We've got a special guest here.
Riv.
The last time he was here, he was,
About a foot shorter.
about a foot shorter. Now he's an adult, and I figured the last time he was on here, we were all worried about cussing and talking total tales from the Video Store. And now he's practically an adult. He can cuss with us.
Oh, easy.
Just kidding. Welcome, River, back to the show.
Glad to be here.
All right.
Glad to be here.
This guy, yeah.
Glad to be here, Dad.
Now this, I have to give it to this guy. He's opened up a letterbox account and he's doing reviews and he's taking it pretty serious.
That's great. That's awesome.
I do have something I'm going to call you out on though. Your Spider-Man is only 4.5 stars and your Northman's 5 stars. How is that possible?
I like the Northman more. I mean, I enjoyed Spider-Man more, but I like the Northman more.
Okay. All right. I won't even ask you to explain that. Just have to put you on the spot. Okay. So let's get on with it. First of all, A Quiet Place, Day One, which is a prequel of A Quiet Place, and the movie's all about the first day that those aliens get here, has been moved back due to inflation.
They can push it all the way back to where it never exists, and I'd be okay with that.
Oh yeah?
I wasn't.
Yeah, you've never
I
been a big
really
fan
liked
of that
it.
movie.
No.
River's a big fan of it. But
Wait, they're doing another one?
they're doing another one, but it's been pushed back. So you were A Quiet Place, weren't you? Lee, you were a big fan.
I liked the first one. I didn't watch the second one, but I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, okay. Well, for anybody that doesn't know, it's being pushed back due to inflation. How about that?
I wish I could push some things back.
Yeah, no shit,
Due to
man. Like the
inflation.
power bill and
Yeah.
the
Having to fill up my
podcast
gas
bill.
tank and
Yeah, can we push all that stuff back?
grocery store. Can I just push that? No.
Yeah. Can I just push the food thing?
Yeah.
Does anybody watch the Halloween Ends first trailer?
I did.
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I don't know. It's a teaser trailer. I really have no idea. At this point, I mean, like we've said many times, it doesn't matter. We're going to watch it.
Will Michael Myers be unmasked in this? Will they show his face? And will he really die?
I would assume so because, I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't think she's going to do anymore. So, I don't know. I assume after this point they would have to just start completely over again.
She'll be doing Halloween movies in a fucking wheelchair.
You think so?
100. If they keep cutting her checks,
right?
She'll keep doing them.
Just her and Michael just wheeling around.
Yeah, Michael. Yep. At Pell Care. If Pell Care living facilities, he'll be stalking her.
Halloween assisted living.
Yeah, Michael Myers will be in the dementia section, the locked off section on the back end of the assisted living campus, and she'll be in the front, and they'll somehow get out and
Halloween, it'll be Halloween and they won't lock his door.
Yeah.
They'll forget.
For some reason, they'll transport him on the day before Halloween again.
Because they've only done that about 60 times, it feels like. But
some millennial will be on his or her phone and forget to lock up his bed or his quarters, and he'll get out and smash their face and drown them and then kill everybody in sight. Yeah. Yep, it's coming. Maybe we should pitch that to McBride. What do you think?
It's not terrible.
McBride will be like, we've already written that.
Yeah.
we've already got 6 more just in case in line. So you're out.
Halloween, the golden years. I love it.
Well, we pick on Rob Zombie quite a bit on this show, and I guess.
Well,
I've come around.
You've kind of become a fan of his, strangely, over the last probably 6 or 8 months. I think due to this new project of his.
Well, it has gotten. I saw the first trailer, and did anybody else see it?
I saw it. Yeah.
What, Lee? Honestly, my problem is like Sleazy P Martini said. He actually made it look like it was video. I wonder if that was purposeful.
I think that's just the amount of money that Universal gave him, because it was supposed to premiere on Peacock, but then they even sold it to Netflix. So I just think, I know it was shot in Romania or Bulgaria or some shit.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't think he was dealing with a lot of money.
No.
And, I mean, I don't know. If it's terrible, I'm not going to give a shit. I see a lot of people who seem to be incensed by it on the internet, and they all look like they're, 25 years old. So I can't imagine they give that much of a shit about the Munsters.
Yeah, I'm the Munsters
people like to
fan.
be mad about things on the internet.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because I'm a Munsters fan. I used to watch the Munsters when I was a kid. I'm old enough to remember the Munsters at 4 o'clock on WCCB or something. It was either the Addams Family or Munsters. Right. You were getting one or the other. So, but he, man, did you see? Did you see his post from 3 hours ago? He is apparently taking this very seriously. All these people thrashing it. I'll read it because we've got time. It's a podcast. This is from Rob Zombie 3 hours ago on his Facebook page, and this is a response to all those trolls and all those guys that still live in their parents' basement and play freaking ColecoVision until 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're 35. Don't pay their child support. How the hell did everyone get the idea that Munsters cost $40 million? Expletive? I wish I had that kind of budget. To put a little perspective on it all, if you add up the budgets of Halloween 2, The Lords of Salem 31, 3 from Hell, and the Munsters, all together, it wouldn't even add up to $30 million. Also, the movie was never going to theaters or Peacock or Paramount. It was always being made for Netflix, which is fine since it's the largest of the streaming services. This was done way before I ever got involved in the project. I have no control or say over this type of stuff. This is a universal deal. But the internet loves to invent rumors, which somehow turns into facts. so the fans can get all bent out of shape.
I did see the $40 million thing, and I knew that couldn't be true. I mean, there was no way that was possible.
No. I'm gonna go see it. I don't.
Where?
On Netflix.
You're not going anywhere to see it.
Right?
Eric's gonna watch it on his phone in a movie theater parking lot.
Yeah, there you go.
I was actually looking forward to seeing it on the big screen, but the cool thing is it's coming out on Blu Ray at the same time as it comes out on Netflix. The one cool thing Rob Zombie does is he always splurges for a documentary crew to film all the behind the scenes of his movies.
I will say the making of his Halloween, the making of documentary is the best thing on that his Halloween DVD.
100%. So
it's an amazing documentary.
Oh yeah, he does everything. He goes from they show his drawings, like his own drawings.
You're right. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it was great, and I'm hoping we do the same thing on Munsters, which is the reason I'm going to be buying the Blu-ray. I'm going to be buying the Blu-ray just to get the behind the scenes.
There you go.
So we'll see how that works. I don't know. Okay, what else we got? Tim Burton earning the 2022 Luminaire prize finally from the Luminaire Film Festival. Finally getting recognized after all these years.
Yeah, too bad he had to sit at his house with all those millions of dollars. Just
being pissed off he didn't have one.
Exactly.
What are you even saying?
I'm just saying that's awesome. Tim Burton's a big fan.
He doesn't strike me as somebody that gives a shit about that sort of thing.
Well, you're right.
I mean, what do you think? Do you think...
maybe not.
Certain directors, I think, have egos that drive them towards needing to be, like, lauded and like, built up. He doesn't strike me as somebody like that. Just look at the movies he makes. I mean...
the best interview I ever saw with Tim Burton, it was on a documentary about screenwriting. I can't remember the name of it. But it was just, they were interviewing all these directors about, what you need for a script and all this stuff. And I think it was Robert Redford or somebody talking about it very seriously about scripts, how it's all got to be on the page. And it comes to Tim Burton, he said, I wouldn't know a good script if it bit me in the face. He's like, I just pick a movie that I think is cool,
For sure.
And I've always respected that, but he's just, he's still the same guy who got fired from Disney for drawing weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he was like 20 years old. I actually respect that, like Doug was saying, that he doesn't, most of that stuff means nothing to him.
What's your favorite Ed Wood movie?
What?
You just said it, Tim. Ed Wood is my favorite Tim Burton movie.
Ed Wood's mine too. I just totally gave it away.
That's his masterpiece. I mean, if you ask me, that's his best movie.
100%. I think the first Batman is a close second.
Yeah, I really like the first Batman.
Yeah.
I thought Batman, Beetlejuice. I mean, a lot of his
he's got some good.
He's got some really good movies. I mean,
Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's an awesome fucking movie.
It is.
Say what you will, it's a great movie.
I mean, Mars Attacks, even as ridiculous as it is fun. I mean, Tom
also
Jones, it's not unusual
that's
to be, oh my God! And then running from... I mean, Danny DeVito as the sleazy guy, and Jack Nicholson as the president.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My favorite joke in Mars Attacks is when Jack Black runs up to the Martian, and he's in the army, and he points the rifle at it, and the clip falls out of his gun, and he immediately gets killed.
Yes.
It's just that's a really good, visual joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, well, that's it for the news, besides gases.
Nope, I have one more thing.
Oh, you do? Great.
I do.
Okay.
We haven't done this in a while, but I have a douchebag of the week.
Yay!
And it is Avengers Endgame co-director Joe Russo, who said last week that the idea that people want to see movies in a theater is elitist compared to Netflix. That people should just watch, Netflix is how people should watch movies, and this idea that movies should play in theaters is this elitist idea that because it costs too much money. Which is, for a guy who made his fortune from movie theater revenue, is a super douchey thing to say.
150%.
Yeah, so fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. What are they even working on now?
They have a new Netflix movie coming out this weekend.
Oh yeah, is it
Man.
the Gray Man? That's right. That's them.
Yeah.
Oh well, that Netflix probably just paid them to say that. Hey, we'll throw in an extra $3 million if you'll just say, watch Netflix instead of going to the movie theaters. Okay, no problem. I'd do it. Call me a douchebag.
I don't get how it's elitist.
Yeah, elitist. Like that's crazy.
Anyway.
So if we go to the drive-in theater, would that be elitist if we were gonna?
Or is that like almost elitist?
Yeah, is that almost? Because we're just going to the drive.
You're like middle class.
Wow.
I guess.
Yeah. What a douchebag.
I know we don't do the tabloids, but did somebody see that Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck got married again?
They did get married.
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez changed her last name to Affleck.
No, I didn't read that.
Oh.
Did you guys even know this?
No.
That's crazy to me. God, that dude's been in and out of rehab. His son just crashed a Lamborghini, and he gets to screw J-Lo. What is wrong with my life?
Well, that's really a question you have to answer. I can't help you there.
Damn, how does that work? Ugh, those are things I'll have to ponder.
Very weird, like the XX thing, because any exes of mine, I'm sure they hate me as much as I hate them.
That's 20 years, too.
I think it's very weird to get back with, but...
They're going to make Jiggly 2 or whatever it is.
Jiggly?
Was it Giggly? What was that disastrous movie they did?
Don't say it 3 times.
Giggly, giggly,
That's right.
giggly.
The DVD will appear next to you.
Yeah, don't say it 3
Giggly,
times.
giggly, giggly. A Jersey Girl.
Shit.
Didn't he do Jersey Girl? Did he do the Kevin Smith, the one...
Yeah.
The one that Kevin Smith never talks about. Jersey Girl.
Yeah, Jersey Girl.
Yeah.
Is Jennifer Lopez in Jersey Girl?
Wasn't she the mom that takes off? I really think that she was. She did a cameo at the beginning. She's like the deadbeat mom that disappears.
I have no idea.
I will do
think
some
I saw
research
Jersey
on
Girl
that.
once, and that was a long time ago.
Yes. I think that's true. I think that's true. I will cross-examine that. Anyway, okay. So let's move on to the movie of the week.
The movie.
Creature.
Would you like to introduce this, Lee?
Sure. It's a movie from 1985. It's called Creature. It was directed by William Malone, who most people probably know as the director of the House on Haunted Hill remake from, I think, 99 or 2000. It's it's an Alien ripoff. It's a very low budget movie. It was made for about $700,000. And it stars Klaus Kinski and a lot of people that nobody's ever heard of. And it's basically these astronauts go to a moon of Jupiter and get attacked by this creature. And it's basically like a 50s sci-fi movie, but in the 80s. And it's very low budget, but the director, William Long, is a special effects artist, so you can definitely tell his work with models and things that he was trying to stretch the budget to something, But it's a very cheap Alien knockoff from the mid-'80s. What did you guys think?
Alien knockoff is exactly what it was.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
That's why I picked it.
Yes, almost the creature being a man in a man's, a man in a creature suit at the end, and I even like the ode to Jaws. It didn't go off yet. Yes, it did.
Right.
Boom. And then there was the part.
Well, I was reading an interview with William Malone. He said he was allowed to sculpt all the ships and everything because he was a special effects artist, but the producers would not let him design the monster for some reason. They had these other guys make the monster, and he's like, it looks like a dolphin. He had all these designs because he actually, oddly enough, talking about Halloween, William Malone sculpted the Captain Kirk mask.
Oh, how about that?
But when he was a teenager, he worked at Don Post Masks in Hollywood as a mask designer, and he was actually there when John Carpenter came in and they spray painted it white. But so the monster is not that it doesn't move particularly well. I guess that's why he came up with the sort of the parasite. Like the monster could attach these parasites to its victims and, control them. But I mean, it is what it is. It's a low budget Alien ripoff. What do you think, Doug?
Like you said, the ship, like the models, the ship, the interior of the ship, the stuff on Titan. I thought it looked pretty good. I thought their spacesuits looked pretty good for, like you say, a paltry budget. The monster looked freaking terrible.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
But they did a good job of not showing it, I guess.
Yeah, it's in shadow most of the time.
Yeah. The little...
It definitely looks bigger than a $700,000 movie.
Right. The little parasite things, you just could never really see what they looked like. That kind of bugged me a little bit.
That was the point.
Well, right. I think they were trying to avoid that because it was probably just some like rubber thing, whatever. But I mean, you said that it's full of people that nobody's ever heard of. That's not true.
Well, that's okay.
Ferris Bueller's dad is in this fucking thing, and Diane Salinger was Pee Wee Herman's girlfriend in Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and I think maybe even Big Top Pee Wee. I can't remember what her name was in it, though. So I did recognize.
She's the waitress at Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
But I thought it was his girlfriend. No.
No, the girlfriend is the girl from the bike shop.
Oh right, okay.
Well, that was close.
Still, close enough. Close enough.
You're close. You're very close.
The special effects team that did this 1 year later is the same team that worked on Aliens, and oddly enough, this movie it almost, because it came out a year before Aliens. Like if you watched this and didn't look at the years, you would say this is an Aliens ripoff because it's very similar to the sequel to Alien, more so than it is the original, if you ask me. And the fact that this came out a year later, I thought, or a year before, I thought was kind of interesting because it kind of felt like maybe some of the things that we liked about Aliens was stolen from Creature. So I got to give it a little bit of credit because of when it came out.
And also, when they were making the movie, Klaus Kinski's character was not in the script.
You can tell.
And the producers just called the director and said, I got great news. We got Klaus Kinski for the movie. And he's like, we're already shooting the movie. And they were like, well, just put him in. That's why he literally just pops up behind somebody.
And grunts a little bit.
He says, you haven't told me what else you like. And she's like, violence. You know who he reminds me of? The fucking douchebag in Jaws 3 that comes in, and I can't think of his name right now, but the English guy that shows up with the
game hunter.
Yes, and ends up getting eaten by Jaws, and his arm's sitting there with the grenade in it at the end.
Right.
Yeah, that guy they must have copied this character. Jaws 3, the director of Jaws 3 and the writers of Jaws 3 must have copied this character because it seemed like it was him verbatim. The same douchebag guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a B grade movie, man. I mean, it's a B movie. It as long as you go into it knowing what it is, I don't see how you can really be disappointed. I mean, it is what it is. It had some cool effects, like when that dude got his head blown off. That looked fine. I mean, didn't you think?
What do you think?
River hated it, I guess.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what he has to say about it.
Weigh in, River.
Come on, Mr. Letterbox.
So, I thought it was, for what it was, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Just said that is bullshit.
But I think the only best part is where Ferris Bueller's dad takes a laser gun and shoots a guy and his entire head blows off. That's probably the only thing that, that's
it was the best scene of the movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We like the boobies.
See,
the Natasha, it was almost like Species showed up. Natasha Hentridge Like,
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
Everybody knows Species, Natasha Henstridge.
I think
Close
you're
enough.
butchering the hell out of her name, but I'm going to let it slide.
But she goes down a corridor and then she's naked with these eyes and she got the kiss of death, you know, like, and I mean, yeah. You know that even the writing on that, they're like, okay, they gotta get naked at least once. We gotta have some.
We gotta give them something.
We gotta have some boobage at some point in this movie.
Exactly. It's like sort of like Roger Corman movie math. You gotta have a certain amount of special effects. You gotta have a certain amount of gore, and you gotta have a certain amount of nudity.
Yes.
It's like you're putting together a puzzle. You know.
And they did.
People rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly, and it's just a fun, it's a monster movie.
It's silly.
Yeah, exactly, and like we were talking about with the guy's head exploding, like we talked about with Stone Cold, that's what you get when a stunt guy directs a movie. This is what you get when a special effects artist directs a movie.
Yeah.
You know, you just get heads exploding. You know.
Yeah. Isn't it
But
wild?
like I said, you can watch it for free on the internet, so you're not losing anything.
And you can watch it on don't watch it on Prime where you're getting the 4:3 VHS crop.
Yeah, the cut was terrible.
Terrible, and then but on Tubby with the commercials.
Yeah, the only problem with Tubi is the commercials are so like you get 6 commercials every 10 minutes.
Oh, that's true. But you get a letterbox cut.
That's true. It looks much. It's like a DVD rip.
Okay.
You know.
Well.
And William Long actually he owns the movie, but he owns it with MGM, and he tried for years to get them to put it out on Blu-ray, and it just like 2-3 months ago finally came out on Blu-ray.
Is it restored or no?
It's restored. It has It has 2 cuts. It has the theatrical cut and his longer director's cut. It's got tons of special features. It's a really cool looking package when you look at the Blu-ray of it.
Well, that's like a lot of these B-grade horror movies I'm delving into. The cover the cover art's great. That's what gets you to buy it, and then you watch the freaking.
That's how you do it, though. I mean, we've talked about this before. That's how you get them sold. You get a great artist to put together something on the cover and come up with a catchy name and a catchphrase if you can, and put it in a Walmart and see what happens.
That's it.
And we've got police and our buddy Eric's come by here twice. He must have been delivering, but he's come by twice and honked. We've got a lot of stuff going on outside the studio today, so bear with us, listeners.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll put up a link to this fancy Creature Blu Ray that you can buy.
Okay.
If anybody wants to spend their money on that kind of stuff.
And it's a movie I had never heard of or seen before.
Only Lee Bridges.
Lee dug this one up from the crypt, and I'm happy that I watched it. It's like it's not. I think it's under 2 hours, close to 90 minutes. I think it's
like 88 minutes.
Yeah, and I like sci-fi, but it's eerily. I mean, it's a lot of it. A lot of the like strobe effects. A lot of the way that the ship looks, even the helmets and the light under the mouth of the helmets are all from Aliens. It's very like they stole some shit. So I mean, Aliens is one. It might be my favorite sci-fi movie of all time. And to see some stuff that came out a year before, is interesting. It's always interesting when you think, oh man, that's where that effect came from, is from Aliens, but in reality it came from something quite different. And that is what I took away from this. And I'll never forget it because of it. Pretty cool. Yeah.
So you would rent it 100%. Not buy it.
Do I have to pay money for it?
If it's not, let me give you this scenario, Doug. It's like 1987.
Oh,
and you see this movie on the shelf.
Oh, absolutely.
You probably rent it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Somehow I never saw it on the shelf because I absolutely would have rented it. Yeah. Yeah. It's worth a one-time watch, and if you like you know, if you like kind of low budget stuff and kind of want to see how they kind of come up with all this stuff, it's kind of one of those where it's not big budgeted enough to where it's like hidden. It's you can tell that the money is low, and it's and they worked around it. And it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
For a 35-year-old movie, 37-year-old, whatever, it's fine. I've seen worse.
Oh, I've seen worse.
I've seen much worse aliens rip-off flicks than Creature. We'll just leave it at that.
You can tell that everybody on the movie knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really there's some movies you watch, you're like, well, you know, it looks cool, but the sound sucks. Or, well, the sound guy didn't know what he was doing. Like this movie, it was made by professionals, just on a very low budget.
Yeah.
Very low budget, just like Rob Zombie's movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, is he throwing out is that just an excuse for the shit he's getting ready to put out? Because that's kind of what it felt like to me. Like, why even respond?
I think, yeah.
Sorry,
No,
but that's
fine.
kind of
No, let's
bothering
talk
me.
about
I'm like, why are you even? Why do you feel like you need to respond before it even comes out?
I think
Put it out and then respond.
He's taking a kick to the teeth. I mean, by me as well, which is actually kind of like I almost sympathize with him. I couldn't imagine. But you know, me 2 years ago, I'm like, he's a hack. And then the more I really looked into it, I'm like, he's got his own style and he's doing it, you know. And I guess maybe he just had enough. You're right, actually. I never answered your question,
but I like some of it. I think I like more of his stuff than you do.
There's a 50-50 chance that that's exactly what that statement was.
But it's very odd to me that he felt compelled to come out and address all this stuff. Who gives a shit? Who cares what rumors are out there? You're Rob freaking Zombie. You're making a Munsters movie. You have a catalog. Like, who cares what these people... that's what bugs me, is that he actually felt like he had to say something. I think that's just very weird to me.
Maybe it's because, yeah.
And I don't know why he felt that way. I hope what he makes is great. I don't think it will be. That's my own personal feeling on it.
I don't think it can be.
But I'm still going to watch it. I'm compelled to see what happens. But I don't really understand the reasoning behind, you know, it's like you're already making excuses. Like, don't make...
He's like Martin Scorsese. So this nepotism that he does, where he brings back everybody, including his wife. It's like, you know, Scorsese can.
That might have been in the prenup. Who knows?
Maybe Scorsese can do it, but he's bringing back Leonardo. He's bringing back Martin. He's bringing back Robert De Niro.
I don't even have a problem with that.
I do, because the people he gets, he like brings the same people back, and they're not right for the part.
He's the writer, he's the director. I'm fine with him putting in these roles, whoever he's comfortable putting in these roles. I don't really care about that. It's more the filmmaking aspect of it that I'm trying to judge him on. And like House of a Thousand Corpses, I really, really like. I still really, really enjoy it. Some of the other stuff, not so much. You know, I mean, but I still, like you say, he has a style. He has a way that he does things. And to his detriment or to, you know, to his benefit. But to come out with that tweet, that's just weird to me. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe he just got tired of it, you know, and felt like he had to say something. But trying to put myself in his shoes, I think I'd just not say anything until it comes out. And then if you feel like you need to defend yourself, defend yourself.
Maybe.
Or just don't say anything.
You have any say? You don't care about that Munsters, do you?
I'll watch it because you're going to watch it, but I'm not going to be fully interested in it.
Have you ever seen the Munsters TV
I
show?
watched 3 episodes. I watched 1 before the trailer, and then I watched 2 after because I just had to see like what it was because Dad was talking about it. And I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's fine for what it is.
Fred Gwynn, dude, I love that guy, man. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like.
I mean, especially when he dies in Pet Sematary, it's his best role. When he's like,
yes.
Yes.
First I played with Mommy. Now I'm going to play with you. Little gauge, a little fucker. God damn, I wanted to kick that little bastard across the screen. I can't watch that movie again.
It's awful.
God,
yeah, it's tough.
The chick with the thing, the back.
Oh, Zelda.
Oh goddamn! I can't.
Yeah, Zelda. Yeah, that's nightmare fuel right there.
Yeah,
Zelda.
I can't. Between Zelda and Lil Gage walking around, oh, I just can't stand it.
Oh, I punt Gage into a ceiling fan.
Yeah. I so wanted to see that happen.
Yeah. But Zelda, if you woke up in the middle of the night and Zelda was standing in your bedroom at the foot of your bed, you would spontaneously shit your pants and have a heart attack.
Oh God. Whew. Yeah. Like you say, nightmare fuel for real.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got off on a tangent.
Well, speaking of tangents, caught River listening to Metallica, Master of Puppets, after the old Stranger Things. As you can see, his shirt, Eddie Munson.
Rocking an Eddie Munson. I mean, when you said last week somebody's downloaded Master of Puppets, I'm sitting there going, well, of course it's fucking River. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So the Stranger Things season 4 is the shiz, huh?
Best. It's probably the best season. But I mean, I like season 1. Season 1's my second favorite, but this one felt a lot more like going into the Dungeons and Dragons, which I really liked, obviously, because I used to play. So it felt like it went a lot more into that than any of the other seasons. So I think that made me biased.
I still haven't watched it. You don't watch it at all, do you?
I did not like it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was the opposite. I did not care for it.
So what about you, Lee? You watch Stranger Things?
No.
I watched the first 2 seasons. I haven't watched any. I watched season 3 or 4.
This is coming from a guy who hasn't watched Game of Thrones.
The third season is fine. It's still.
Has HBO Max and hasn't watched Game of Thrones.
Well, I mean, I know that there are aspects of that I know Lee well enough just by doing this. I know he would absolutely fucking love. But there's also a lot of bullshit that he would hate.
So, Lee, let me ask you something. Lord of the Rings, the $1 billion TV show that...
He is not going to watch that? Oh, my God, no.
No.
0%. What are you even saying? Have you not been listening to him for the last 3 years? Oh, my God.
You have to tape my eyes open like Malcolm McDowell in A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. Strap him down in a dentist chair.
You're not even going to give it the time of day.
No, I mean, I just have no interest.
Oh, I got you. All right, well, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what'd you watch this week then? Actually,
Me?
we'll get into... let me start. I'll start...
Absolutely, go ahead.
Actually, yes, go ahead.
Let's allow.
All right, Doug, you start us.
What the?
I would rather go last.
You're not going to be able to follow me. Okay.
Oh,
well,
okay, so Lee, you go.
Me go? Okay. Because of Doug last week, I rewatched Cobra because Bonnie never seen it.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
And she loved it. She's like, yeah, she really enjoyed it.
Nice.
And other than that, I watched. And also another
Lee,
movie
did she
I
go?
talked
Did
about
she
last
go?
week.
Hold on. Did she go out and buy you a pair of sunglasses and get you a box of toothpicks?
No, she did not.
Then the movie failed.
Then the movie failed.
Awesome.
But I'm gonna quickly talk about 2 movies I started watching and bailed on.
Wow, that's.
Oh wow, really?
That is very
Yeah,
unlike
one
you.
was similar to Doug talking about Creature on Amazon Prime, how rough the print looked. I heard about a movie called Stunts from I think '77. It was directed by Mark Lester, who had gone direct Commando and Showdown in Big Little Tokyo, and it stars Robert Forster, and it sounded like a super cool movie, and it may still be. I bailed out after like 3 minutes. Stunt people on a movie are dying, and it's basically Robert Forster is the head stunt guy, and he has to figure out why are all these accidents happening on the movie.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And it may be a cool movie, but the print on Prime is so terrible. It looks like a 16 millimeter print that was converted to VHS that was found in a landfill. It was unwatchable. But I mean, maybe someday I'll find a better print. And a movie y'all talked about either last week or 2 weeks ago, 47 Ronin, which I think is on Amazon Prime, which I've never seen.
It's on HBO Max.
HBO Max, yeah.
How far did you get into it?
I got about 45 minutes into it and turned it off. Basically, it felt like I was watching if someone took all the cut scenes of a video game I didn't give a shit about and edited them together.
Yeah.
That's what the movie was like, and I just couldn't get into it. It looked great. The color and everything looked amazing, but I didn't like it.
Do you know that Netflix just signed off with a sequel of that movie?
It might be. Is it being directed by the same guy?
That I don't know.
I don't know. I know that was that guy's first movie, and the fact that someone gave that guy like $100 million who never directed a movie before that's a disservice to him.
Oh, absolutely. They could have given that to me. I'd have blown it too.
Well, they could have given it to somebody who'd actually made a movie before, who knows how to make a big movie. If you gave me $100 million, I would just fucking shit the bed and you would come out with a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the skills to make that movie.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway. Other than that, I watched a movie called On the Ropes on Amazon Prime. It's basically, if people watch the John Wick movies and don't like that they're basically stunt porn, On the Ropes is not for you. It's basically a movie written by and starring 90% stunt performers. It's a martial arts movie. These two guys are the sons of a crime boss. One is the biological son, one is adopted, and the father basically cedes the control of the crime family to the adopted son, and the biological son basically loses it, and it's like a war between the two of them. Very simple movie, but it's a very entertaining movie. The acting is a little rough, I'll grant you that.
Okay.
It's called On the Ropes.
On Prime, you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I watched a movie, I think from 2019. It's called The Devil You Pay. And it takes place somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains, sort of in this, like, these mountain people. And there's this woman, and her husband has borrowed all this money from sort of the matriarch, the head of this woman who's the head of the community. And her husband has disappeared, and so the debt is on her, and she has so many days to pay it back, and they're gonna kill her. She's the woman who's the head of the community. She sends two guys over, and they dig two graves in her front yard, basically letting her know that if she doesn't repay this huge debt, which these people who basically they don't have power in their homes, and they're mountain people, she can basically never repay it. So she goes on this quest. It kind of starts off as like a quest to get the money back, but then it becomes like a revenge movie. And the thing I like about it is it's not condescending to Southern people. Like everybody's sort of on the same level. I thought it was a very well made movie.
Nice.
For such a low budget movie. It's called The Devil You Pay.
Where was this? Prime?
I think it was on Prime, but I cannot remember. It may have been on something else. I'll just say Prime, but I could be wrong.
Well, if you Google anybody that doesn't know, if you Google or Safari a name, it normally pops up on the side and tells you where you can see it.
But
right.
Sometimes it lies.
And sometimes it lies. You're right.
But sometimes it's not. Sometimes the movie's been taken down.
Yeah.
But that's all I watched.
Very nice.
Well, I'll go next. Here's a little insert. So, when we started the podcast, that was a recording of us driving down to Charlotte to the AMC Northview to check out a sneak peek of Nope that's coming out on Friday. Well, when we got out of the movie, this was my response. What? We just got out of Nope. What'd you think?
It was the best Jordan Peele movie, and I loved it. I think it might be top 3 best for the year.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. Did you like it?
Did I like it?
Yeah.
Nope.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
So there you go. I'm not a big Jordan Peele fan. I wasn't a big fan of Us, and I wasn't a real big fan of Get Out. However, Nope was actually pretty entertaining, man. I'm going to say that this much. I'm not going to talk much about it because to talk about it, we would really ruin it for everybody. And I think everybody should see it. So I will say we went and saw it at the Dolby Digital and theater, and it was fantastic. I mean, it was a fun ride. Lots of good humor. Lots of cliffhanging moments where you don't have any idea what's going on. There's a couple of parts that are kind of like, what in the world's going on? And then it happens, and you're kind of... It's good. It was very well... the cinematography is fantastic. He's got these shots where, you know, he's looking at the actors, and then they pan up, and they see whatever's in the sky, and it was just really well done. What do you think?
This had Jordan Peele, even though it feels so much more different than all of his other movies, he has his staple in this movie. I mean, you could tell just by looking at it, like the way he does it, and he does every movie the same. I mean, the cinematography always does the good shots, but there were some. So I was going into it expecting, you know, at least something scary, and I mean, I thought it was phenomenal. I mean, it's not more like a horror movie. It's more of like a sci-fi with horror elements in it. But when the horror elements were there were some scenes in this movie that were like, they were pretty hard to watch. I mean, there's 2 scenes in this movie that made me cringe. I mean, there's some scenes in it, but it definitely it shines, I think, for this year.
Without giving it away, without giving anything away, you must go see this movie, and I would suggest not going. Now, I love the State Cinema. If you're local and you listen to us and you're local, don't go see it at the State. Spend the money and go see it in a Dolby Digital or IMAX theater, because the sound, we watched at the Dolby Digital, the Dolby theater, and the sound like shook the seats, and it was amazing. Like, it was
necessary.
It was almost necessary, yes.
Gotcha. Cool.
And then we also went and saw Thor.
Hello?
There's my review.
You have no review of Thor: Love and Thunder?
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same.
Yeah.
Christian Bale is the only thing different about this Thor movie than there was at the beginning Thor movie. Chris Hemsworth, his freaking shtick is over. It's old. It's piss poor. Yes, it's a fun movie. Whatever. Thor's my favorite of the group, and Tahiti, he's great. But it's the same. It's the same. Marvel, same shit.
It's
recycled.
It's the playbook.
Eric,
we've talked about this. I don't understand how you go into a movie like this that we've discussed. We know that there is a fucking playbook that we have discussed.
Here's the book.
I feel
so when you go to one of these Marvel movies and you expect to see something different, I think
you're right.
That I don't understand that. You should know exactly what you're walking
Welcome
into.
to Disney, Mr. Lane. We are so happy you're on the next Thor project.
Thanks for our money.
We are so happy that you're directing it. Now, there's one thing we need to do before you start pre-production. Here's the manual that you need to go through, and you need to read every bit of it twice and memorize it. This is how you have to make this movie.
Yeah.
And you cannot sway from that. Do you understand? Have a good day. Your office is down the hall to the left. Go ahead.
I feel like the Marvel movies for the past year, besides Spider-Man, have been lacking. I mean, they've been working more on quantity over quality, and the CGI. I mean, there's some shots in this movie. I mean, Dad didn't notice them, but I like it's the only thing I could focus on in that scene. I mean, they don't give their visual. They want to keep pushing these movies out, and it's just making them worse and worse as they go, and they're just getting into a hole right now.
How did the whole joke about Jane Foster? What did she say? Jane Fonda, and then Jane. What was her name from? They kept mistaking Jane's name and doing famous people, and the whole. I mean, dude, when this climax fight scene between Gore and Thor is Guns N' Roses Strange. Don't you think that you need someone? Don't you think that you know that song? The one where they were singing on top of the roof and
November
jumps in
Rain.
with the fucking dolphins and whatever.
How do you forget, man?
I don't know.
November Rain. We were down at Myrtle Beach during senior week when that premiered on HBO on MTV, and watched the music video.
And it was like 12 minutes
We all
long.
gathered around. There were like 20 of us in a room. Yeah.
Is that November Rain? I thought that was Estranged from the Blue album, not the Orange.
I don't know, man.
Well, whatever. Either way, that whole thing is Guns N' Roses.
I guess you're not a Guns N' Roses fan.
Listen, that's the best part of the movie, is what I was getting ready to say. But that's where we are with Marvel. It's all shtick. It's all the same. Like, it's just the same, man. It's just the same. And then finally.
Yes.
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 It's on Shudder. They Live. I have not seen They Live. And
I reviewed They Live like last year. Man.
I know you did.
And
you
it's
reviewed.
And it's amazing.
I am talking about me.
And
now,
it's
I
awesome,
watched it.
right?
It is awesome.
Right.
It's awesome.
Okay, great.
It's awesome. And the final scene's the best scene of any movie ever. And it's got John Carpenter written all over it. And anybody, and I forced River to watch it the other night. I said, "You've got to watch this."
Hated it.
It's watchable.
That's it. He's done. He doesn't like John Carpenter.
It's watchable.
He's a millennial.
It's no The Thing, but it's fun for what it is. I think it's.
Okay. Hey,
He's bullshitting you right now.
that's fun. He brought up The Thing.
I watched the whole thing.
He doesn't want to get fired from the podcast as soon as he gets back. He doesn't like the
I
movie.
liked
He
it.
doesn't
It's
like
just
anything from our childhood. This is the same guy. Don't let him fool you. This is the same guy that said that Raiders of the Lost Ark didn't look real. It looked fake. This is the same guy.
I remember.
I was also 9 years old and I didn't know what CGI was.
Oh, yes, so They Live. I bet. Yes, Lee's probably got Kleenex out right now. So, just the word "They Live" gets his hand, gets the
Ooh, Carpenter, yeah.
Ooh, Carpenter. God almighty.
Wow.
Carpenter makes me want to put the glasses and get the box of toothpicks out. Yeah.
But I mean, The Thing is a better movie, but They Live.
Oh,
It is. It's They Live, man. It's
falling
awesome.
apart in this one.
It really is good.
And I'll say, They Live is Scorsese's favorite John Carpenter movie.
So I wonder if John Carpenter wrote this movie, and then he said, "Well, we've got a 45-minute fight between Keith, what's his name?
Keith David.
Keith David and the lead, whoever we cast. We might want to get a wrestler for this fight sequence." How did Roddy Piper
Piper's good in the movie.
Huh?
Great.
He's good in the movie. Like, Roddy Piper is legitimately good in the movie.
I know, but it's just so random. I mean, did he ever do another movie? This was the only movie. He just shows up and does They Live.
He did tons of movies. Most of them were much more low budget than They Live, but he did other movies.
I see. I can't remember. I loved him in wrestling. So.
Oh man.
I mean, it's a lot of people thought when that movie came out that John Carpenter just hated America, but he was like, "No, I just hate certain parts of it."
Yeah.
Which I think is clear now.
Right.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like
And
it.
here's another movie, guys, man, that you guys need to revisit. I think that you're off on it, and you're going to tell me, all right, this is probably going to be a Phantom Thread joke for a few weeks, but I watched The Counselor again. Ridley Scott's The Counselor. It is very, very good. The Dread.
It's got some really good parts to it. I watched it in the last 5 years.
I love it. It is. I watched it again today. It makes me like cringe the whole time that something like that would happen. I could see it happening.
It makes me too, but in a different way. But
I mean, Brett, the death scene at the end is just.
That's a great scene.
It's tremendous. Brad Pitt's death scene is tremendous. That conversation between Wes Stray and Counselor, right when he sets him up, and Brad Pitt's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Like, it seems so real. Like, it's such a good conversation. There's some really good dialogue about and everybody in it's like so scumbag. Cormac McCarthy's so good at writing that, where it's like, I don't know. This is kicking a dead horse. I was just bringing it up because I know the last time I brought this movie up, you guys are like, it's a piece of shit, or it's not that good. And I'm telling you, I think you're missing it. I think it's good. I think it's much better.
One day I'll rewatch it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I rewatched it after you bitched about it a couple years ago.
Okay, maybe.
It's when I watched it, and I did enjoy it more the second time than I did the first time, but
Cameron Diaz deserves to die.
But I don't remember, like, the details that you're laying out there. I don't remember any of that.
Well, there you go. That's what I watched. River, what'd you get us into it?
Well, it's been a while since I've been on here, so I've watched a lot, but...
Yeah, well,
Cut it down. Trim it down.
I know.
It's only been 18 months. 2 years.
God, 2 years.
So, first thing I watched is...
He'll be like, hold on, he'll be like Chunk and Goonies. Well, the week after I left the podcast last, I started this movie, and then we just keep going and going. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm making a Goonies joke. Go ahead, man.
The first thing I watched is I've been seeing a lot of stuff about it on Letterboxd and stuff like that. So I checked out FX's The Bear. It's on Hulu. It was created and directed by Christopher Storer. I guess that's how you pronounce it. And I mean, easily I've watched probably about 12 shows this year, new shows, and it's easily top 3. I mean, the acting in it, I mean, they're all new people. I looked it up. They're all like people. They haven't been in much stuff. They haven't been in very popular stuff. But they all shine in this. I mean,
other than Flip from what's that fucking show called?
Shameless.
Shameless, yeah.
And
Got me.
And he's the main guy.
I mean, it gets really intense at times. I mean, there's an episode 7 of it, which it's like they leave this pre-order machine open and they get tons of orders, and it's 20 minutes and it's done in one shot. It took them 4 tries to do, and it's complete chaos from the beginning to the end of the episode. I had to watch it again to.
So the episode is only 20 minutes, and it's just this just this flubbed pre-order.
It's in one setting. It's done in one shot.
Well, you know that's the kind of stuff I like to see. Oh, one shot. Yeah, I want to watch that. Doug can't watch stuff like that because Doug.
Well, I had a couple of buddies of mine say, "Hey, man, I think you really need to watch this." And I put on the first episode, and I got about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes into it, man. It's like, I can imagine, and this is on a different level, but like, imagine if you worked on an ambulance and then you tried to watch a show about people in an ambulance, or, you know, something like that. It's like bringing back that kind of anxiety. I was just like, yo, man, I don't want to be in this fucking kitchen. I'm good, man. Good luck.
Overnight, with the Troy Duffy documentary always brings me anxiety. Because that guy had it all. He had everything he had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he blew it. And you're sitting there watching him blow it in real time, and you're just like, oh my God, guys like me.
It's
I'm
very
like,
uncomfortable.
I mean, yes.
It's just uncomfortable to me. I mean, but I've heard great things, not just from you, River, from some other people that have watched it, so.
Keep going, man.
And then next, I had watched this movie, I think probably about a year ago, but I put it on the background while I don't know what I was doing. I might have been doing homework or something. I put it on the background because I was hearing stuff about it, so I put it on. Didn't watch a second of it. But it was 2014's Chef, directed by Jon Favreau. So a lot of people, again, on Letterboxd have been talking about it.
I fucking hate that movie.
You're going to bring up chef movies and there's a chef here. You're going to
so it's all good.
You're going to get tomatoes thrown.
I can't stand it.
But, I mean, it was so good. I mean, it's such like a feel-good movie to me. Yeah. It just makes you feel good. And, I mean, it has the perfect amount of comedy. But just like he said, John Wick is stunt porn. This is food porn. Oh,
God. Garrick, what are you doing, damn? Christ.
It's
food porn? That's what we're doing now? God. Oh, man.
So why don't you like that movie?
I don't like one fucking thing about it.
Really? Jon Favreau's so
I don't
good.
care.
He's a great storyteller.
I'm good.
I like that movie. Okay.
I'm fine.
Are there any movies about chefs that you do like?
Probably. But I haven't fucking seen them yet.
They haven't been made yet.
I avoid it. It's like I just don't care. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have my son work. I'm gonna fuck off. I don't give a shit. It's not something I'm gonna ever. It's just that's not anything I ever want to see. Good job, everybody.
And then last thing.
Sorry, Reverend.
No, it's fine.
Hey,
It's not my cup of tea.
This is what we're here for. It's
not how I do it.
Okay.
And then it was just one of those, I was looking for something to watch on Netflix, and I came across it on the horror movie tab, 2014's Creep, directed by Patrick Bryce.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, the story behind it, I think, was what made me so, like, interested in it. It was one of those that they made a story about it, or like made an idea, and their friends found it and thought it would be a great idea, and they just needed to find a studio. They went around looking for studios, and they finally found one, and they got it made. It's low budget. It was done. It has 2 people in the cast. It's done by the guy. I mean, the director's in the movie, and it's
So
just
it's Blair Witch without the Dramamine.
No, it's different.
It's the lodge. What's the one? What's the M. Night Shyamalan one with the old
Visit?
people? The Visit. It's like The Visit. Only
I also watched that, but I'm not going to review it because I mean,
I enjoyed Creep.
yeah.
You don't like Chef, but you like Creep.
Yeah.
And the ending is
That's
really.
right.
I mean, it builds like this creepiness of the creepness. I mean, of this guy.
It's a creepiness.
Well, like it builds the stalking guy's character the entire movie, and then by the end of it, when you're generally like feeling bad for the guy, then it just gives you a big like punch to the face in the end, and it's definitely worth it. It's an hour and 18 minutes. If you got time, I definitely recommend it.
We were going to watch it. We ran out of time this weekend, but yeah, man, we'll definitely.
I have seen it, and I did not hate it.
That is a surprise.
Which is a glowing review from Doug.
Just wait. Just you wait. We're gonna have a discussion about something here in a minute, Lee. I'm sure.
All right, well, let's get to it then. Is that all you watched?
I'll watch one more thing, but I can do it quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, then I was also on an FX Hulu like show spree, and I watched FX's Under the Banner of Heaven, starring Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Created by David Mackenzie. I mean,
I watched it.
I mean, it's good. It's a slow burn, but I think in the end, it takes. I mean, it's worth it.
If you hate, look, it's based on a true story about some murdering Mormons that are so crazy that they feel like their shit's justified to do these like you've heard it. It's like these like they have a term for it, like I can't think of what it is, where it's like God says that we can kill these people, whatever, and it's very well done. Garfield. The last couple of things I've seen him in, he's been good, dude. He's been really, really good, dude.
Yeah, he's always good. So I interrupted you with my fart noise. It was good. You liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
You understand all that stuff?
Yeah, I watched it in one night because I mean it was one of those. I was like, I'm gonna watch one before bed.
He's freaking on summer break. He's
got
no job.
Yeah,
he got no job. He got no rent. What else he got to do? Watch movies.
I just watched one episode, and I mean they're an hour. I mean, this one's a lot longer. I mean, they're an hour long. There's 7 episodes. It'll take some time to finish, but it's definitely in the end. I think it's worth it.
What's that called again?
Under the Banner of Heaven.
I'm shocked that you made it to the end. I mean, I slept through probably half of it. My wife is all about these. She loves these kind of religious kind of shows like that, and. The parts I saw of it were good, but there's a lot going on. It's kind of hard to.
It is a lot of
there's a lot going on. Yeah, I'm shocked that you sat and watched the whole thing, but maybe that's the only way that you could retain it, because if you gave yourself time to like it, because there's a lot going on.
That's the problem with me with those real serious shows. Like if I don't do it all back to back, like
tough.
If I go 3 days without watching it, I'm done. It's gone. It's just like Stranger Things. I got to the 4th episode and I liked them, but then I I had to take a week off to go shoot, and now
come back to it, and you're like, I don't even know what this is.
Fucking whatever.
Yeah.
All right, Doug, since you're going to steal the show, you say with your reviews.
We're just going to have a discussion.
Oh yeah, we're going to have a discussion.
I know we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about something, about one thing.
Okay, let's go.
First thing, okay, The Boys. I finished season 3. It's the shit. If you're not watching it,
I have not ever seen The Boys.
It's fucking great, dude. And it is so nasty. Some of these episodes.
All right, so base it on the
it's the anti-Marvel, man. It's
the Peacemaker. What is it? Kind of like the Peacemaker? Same.
It's not silly or lighthearted like that. Although it is in some parts, but it's more like grimy and dirty, and that's what I like about it. And it's still very, very funny, but it's not. It's not for kids. It is strictly an adult show. In season 3, when I think it came out a couple of weeks ago, I watched that, and it was very good. We were talking last week about the Hughes brothers. I was talking about Menace to Society. The last collaboration was the Book of Eli in 2010.
I saw that right there during this podcast.
I saw that it was on, I think, HBO Max. And I remember watching it, and I did not like it. But I didn't really remember any details from it. I love Denzel. I love Gary Oldman. So I talked myself into watching it again. Are you laughing, Lee?
No.
Okay, I hear some noises. I wasn't sure.
That's the friggin' dog that I'm going to shoot after the podcast.
He's still using the Kleenex.
That's what it sounded like a little bit. Okay. Book of Eli. Dude, you can put 2 of my favorite actors of the last 50 years in this, and it's just nothing. It has a great look to it. Yes, post-apocalyptic kind of landscape where there's like a nuclear explosion has happened. They don't go into a whole lot of detail about it. Had happened some years before, and this dude's like carrying this book. He's got to get it to the West Coast, and he goes through this town that Gary Oldman is kind of running. And they do their thing. I mean, you know, when when Denzel has some fight scenes, they're very well done. You know, he's fine. Same with Gary Oldman. He does his thing. It's just a dumb fucking story. And even with the great twist, they just mismanaged it. I'll give the twist away. I don't give a shit. It's 12-year-old movie. The book is in Braille. It's a Bible. It's the last Bible, and it's in Braille. And I guess Denzel is supposed to be blind. Bullshit.
But he doesn't seem blind throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, it's like nothing. He's wearing sunglasses and like does a couple of little neat parlor tricks that you could say, hey, yeah, he's blind. You know, a blind person could do that. The rest of it's bullshit. They should have just kept him just a normal dude and not made him blind and kept the book Braille, and he can read Braille because maybe somebody in his past was blind or something. Like it could have been done better. The whole thing with the book was great, but the rest of it was fucking stupid.
Okay.
There's a reason that those motherfucking Hughes brothers have not worked together in the last 12 years, just because you can't have at your disposal a great twist like that, these great actors, and come up with a shit story like this. It's just not a good movie. I'll never ever watch it again. All right, here's where we're gonna have a discussion, because I started looking around, and you'll probably give me a little shit on this one, Lee. Maybe Highlander. I have never watched it from beginning to end.
Right.
Back when I was younger, I remember I fucking didn't like Christopher Lambert, man. I didn't like the look of him. He looked, he's got like a real big forehead. He kind of looks
He's a weird looking guy.
Yeah, and I remember as a kid, I was just like...
He didn't speak English when they were making the movie.
I'm not sure what it's...
All his lines are said phonetically in the movie. He couldn't speak English.
It is so weird.
Oh, it's very weird.
I mean, it's Christopher Lambert. You've got Sean Connery in this. It's like some Egyptian Spaniard dude who's in Scotland teaching this dude how to sword fight. For some reason, they never explain why. Number one, you don't know why they're even why they're these kind of immortals. Why
they just are.
Right. Yeah, and he says that, and here's the thing about this movie, dude. Clancy Brown is in this, and Clancy Brown is this movie. Without him in it, it is absolutely unwatchable. The parts that he are not in this, that he's absent from in this, are terrible, for the most part. He's great. I loved every line. All his dialogue is great. He's like talking shit to these nuns in this church, and just all these great scenes. He kidnaps the girl, and he's like playing chicken on this long bridge in New York, and just going nuts, man. And he's fun to watch. There's some great effects in this. Like the opening. Here's how it opens. Lambert is at Madison Square Garden watching a wrestling match. All right? And then he walks down to, he watches a little bit of this match, and then he goes to this car lot, and another dude shows up, and they have this weird, not very well done sword fight, and then he cuts the dude's head off, and then leaves, but the cars and all this stuff start happening in this car garage. All that shit is great. It looks great. It's very well done. I don't really understand it, but it looked cool. There's another scene where there's another one of these, what do you call, I don't even remember what you fucking call them, but there's
the Immortals.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't sure.
Doug, is it possible you just weren't paying attention?
Oh no, I was paying attention.
Because they explained the plot of the movie like 3 times in the movie.
Somehow I missed it. Well, there's another scene where
Sean Connery explains it to him, then Christopher Lambert explains it to the girl in the movie.
I guess they just don't explain it well enough for me. So there's another scene where, because another one of these immortals shows up. He's this black dude. I can't remember his name. They talk about this party, and then Lambert's like drunk with this French guy, like having this weird sword fight because he said something negative about his girlfriend or his wife. That's just spliced in the middle of this conversation. It's really, really weird. It doesn't make any kind of sense. Well, that dude gets killed.
But the guy stabbing Christopher Lambert over and over again is funny.
It was just weird, though. I don't know, man. I guess it's one of those things where you have a memory from something from back then where the movie may not flow or whatever, but your memory of it is like, oh, yeah, this is perfectly acceptable, but when you put it on somebody now who's never seen it, it just didn't make any sense. It's just really odd. But there's a scene where that dude gets killed, and they're in this alleyway, and all this glass breaks, and there's fire shooting through these fucking manholes, and it's really well done. Again, it looks cool. And I'm like, damn, all right, nice for 85. Like, this looks good. The final fight scene between Clancy Brown and Lambert is great. They're fighting like on this rooftop. This massive electrical sign kind of falls. The water's electrical because they can't be killed by normal means. This water tower, or water, I guess it's kind of like a big water tower thing that's like on top of this building, falls, so they're underwater. All of that looks great. The sword fighting is fucking terrible. It's almost on like Star Wars level. Like there's nothing fucking to it whatsoever. Then it ends, and then there's like another like cool scene with like these like ghost kind of things. He gets all this power, and all this glass breaks, and he's like, there can only be one. One fucking what? I don't know. And then it ended, and that was it. Now look,
I never liked this movie either.
Look, the story and the mythology, like when they're talking about the quickening and all this, if they would have maybe just, I don't know, delved into that a little bit better, cleaner, made it more like something that you can actually kind of follow, I think, you might have had something. And maybe it's something that needs to be revisited, because I think that there is something to this, maybe. But I understand why I hated it when I was a kid, and I still just... I tried to
Maybe
get...
we're elitists of movies.
I think I'm an elitist cunt is what's happened, because as much as I love a lot of movies from the mid-'80s, and you know a lot of them that you hate, Garrick, and whatever, but this one, man, dude, jeez. It's just so chaotic and hard to follow, for me anyway. I mean, I watched this last night. Last night!
How many beers were it? Did you?
None. I just sat there and I said, God damn.
Maybe you should have had it.
Maybe I would have understood it more if I'd had a couple beers.
There you go.
But Sean Connery's character in that, it's just...
This is on Lee's top 10 of all time.
No, it's not.
It fucking better not be. I'm done with this show forever. I'm fucking walking. I mean,
I've got
if you tried... River, I implore you to go home tonight and try and watch Highlander and write a nice review of it, and please let me know what you think of this. Because I can't be the only one that just... I don't know, man. And it's got some parts. Like I said, it's got a few parts that I really enjoyed, but most of them included Clancy Brown in them, like saying and doing crazy faces and doing like crazy, having these great lines. But everything with Christopher Lambert in it and everything with Sean Connery was so... It almost made me not, like, it was just kind of off-putting. It just...
So Sean Connery did not carry this... I don't even remember... I remember this movie and I didn't like it.
I don't know, man. I figured that... Look, Queen does the soundtrack. There's some Queen songs in this.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is.
That.
But it just... I don't know. I mean, Lee says they explain the fucking thing like 3 times in the movie, but I never got it. And I sat and watched the entire thing from start to finish last night. I figured Lee was going to tear me up on this one, but maybe not.
I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. It doesn't affect me. I mean,
this just strikes me as something that I feel like you probably have an affinity for. But maybe you don't.
I enjoy the movie. I mean, but I mean, I'm not like...
One of the diehards.
It's all right. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not all right.
I don't know. You don't like it. That's fine.
He's biting his tongue. We're running an hour and a half on this podcast. Is the only reason Lee isn't speaking up. Bonnie's probably like, "Are we gonna?"
He's like, "I gotta cook dinner.
I gotta cook dinner. I'm not gonna argue with Doug about the fucking Highlander today."
Hey, I know it's got a legion of fans.
He's probably writing on a little post-it note, stick right next to his laptop. Talk about the Highlander next week with Doug.
Look, I know it's got a legion of fans, and I just, I don't get it. Anyway, that's all I watched,
All right. Well, that's it for this week. What's next week?
Ooh.
We're doing Split Second with Rutger Hauer.
Yeah.
Split Second. Didn't we already do this one?
No.
Did we?
No.
No.
Did we do the Hitcher?
No.
We did the Hitcher.
No, I talked about it.
Hobo in a garbage can?
Hobo with a shotgun. By God, I'm going to find that
one. It's on Shudder or something. Hobo with the shotgun.
I'm definitely watching that, and I'm probably going to try and find the one where he's I can't remember the name of it, where he's the blind swordsman.
Blind Fury. That's also on Prime.
Blind Fury.
And Blade Runner.
I can't watch Blade Runner again, man.
Oh, man.
I just watched it like a year ago. I'm good, man. But I am going to delve into some Rutger because he was an awesome fucking actor, man. I love the guy. Yeah. And Hobo with a Shotgun, I'll be interested to see your take on it. Cause
I've seen it, but it's been a while. I can't remember, but I will. Bring it.
I know you're a fan of the Grindhouse if it's done by certain directors, but certain directors, Grindhouse, you don't like, so I want to see how you feel about this.
If it works, if the Grindhouse works,
yeah.
If the movie meets the criteria of a Grindhouse.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, if you're in a church back in the 1910s, the Grindhouse doesn't work.
I don't think Hobo with a Shotgun was, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, all right. On that note, yes, go see Nope, right? Don't go see Thor. and look up, if you want to be with the cool crew, go to your video store, if there's any opened, and rent Rutger Hauer movies.
They should destroy all the copies of the Book of Eli like they destroyed all the fucking books in the movie.
Oh, speaking of video stores,
That's how fucking bad it was.
real fast, I know if anybody's still listening, got some exciting news. I am editing a movie about the downfall of the video store called Mom and Pop's the downfall of the video rental store. I'm actually cutting the full-length documentary, and it's going to be premiering at Mad Monster, and I'm going to get a free ticket. I'll be going to Mad Monster, so come see me at Mad Monster. Check out all the info online. I'll put a link up about this movie. It's actually pretty good. A couple filmmaker buddies of mine traveled all over and talked to a whole bunch of people, Lloyd Kaufman, all sorts of people about VHS
Did they go
tapes.
to Vizart they go to the one in Charlotte?
Yes, in fact, they did a couple of interviews there.
Awesome.
They went to Jay and Silent
That's a great
Bob's.
video store.
They went to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, and Ming that runs that did a whole stint. Lloyd Kaufman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. I've been in the thick of it, cutting on the weekends as a freebie because I believe in it. It's actually really good, and it's going to be great. It's going to premiere at the Mad Monster in Charlotte. So, yeah.
Very cool.
I'll put a link in the show notes, kind of follow the post-production process of it. So that's it for this week. We'll check you guys at the video store next week with Rutger Hauer's Split Second.
There we go.
Thanks again for putting up with us for another hour and 20 minutes. Let's get to our sponsors. Golden Ticket Cinemas in Lenore, North Carolina. Remember, Tuesdays, $5.50. Movies, $1 popcorn. The Spot Toys. If you can't find it, they've got it. Table Rock Creative Group, the pinnacle of video marketing in the Carolinas. And